Welcome back, it's Dave McClellan for IFSEC TV. Now, joining me in the studio is Anthony King, who is MD of King Security. Thanks for joining us, Anthony.
You're welcome.
Now, for those of us who haven't come across King Security before, tell me a bit about the company, please.
King's is a privately owned security company. We operate nationally up and down the UK, cover most of the major high street brands, and we employ just over 600 staff now.
And what sort of services is it that you provide?
Mainly CCTV and intruder with some access control, and we have a small guarding division as well.
Now, you are speaking here at the show, aren't you?
I'm speaking tomorrow about the Apprenticeships 100 and 100 scheme.
And why are apprenticeships important to you?
I'm passionate about apprenticeships. So far we have this year taken 38 apprentices on into our organisation ourselves. Apprenticeships is the future for us. It's about changing the skill set that we have within our own organisation to make sure we're ready for tomorrow. It's not just about having an engineer with a screwdriver anymore, it's having the next generation of engineers that are able to set up a PoE switch and a server, and will never probably pick up a screwdriver.
And I guess that's just a reflection of how much the industry, as I'm sure you've seen in your time in the industry, how much the industry's changed over the last decade or so.
Oh, the industry's changing massively. And if we don't grab these opportunities of how much the industry's changing, then we'll get left behind. There is a huge convergence. You look around the show, you'll see how IP and technology is converging with security all the time. And the industry has to step forward and actually take the initiative in grabbing hold of some of those opportunities.
And what sort of changes do you see happening over the next few years? I mean, with technologies such as cloud and so on, it's going to spell big changes, isn't it?
It is going to spell big changes and big challenges. And we recognise that. I mean, there is a lot of fear around the cloud. People don't trust the cloud, and where is your data being held? Is it in this country? Is it somewhere else in the world? So for us, we've met that challenge by building our own data centre, which is a secure data centre to ISO 27001, which is the Information Data Security Accreditation. So it's meaning that the industry is having to step forward and actually step into that arena with the IT competitors.
And what are the sort of benefits? I mean, you talk about CCTV, you do a lot of that. What sort of benefits does the cloud model of CCTV monitoring and recording offer over the physical DVR on-premise offering? Okay,
well, my personal opinion is that the days of the DVR are very limited. It's a little bit like the VHS video recorder and the Betamax. So, as you've seen a different changing house, you've got products like Sky and Apple TV now, where everything's coming straight down the line. Everything's coming over the network. So it is about pushing CCTV back up the other way. That's all we're going to do, and store those images in the cloud. Taking away the ownership of having to look after those DVRs and the hard disks. One fact is every hard disk in the world will fail at some point. So, and the only time it fails is when you actually need it, when you go to see a recording. And it's one of those things. So we need to take the ownership of actually maintaining and looking after those hard disks.
And coming back to the apprenticeships that you're very passionate about as well, that means a whole different set of skills that the engineer of today and the engineer of tomorrow is going to have to take on board, which kind of puts a lot of responsibility on you as the company that's training them up.
It's a huge responsibility, and it is a different skill set of engineers. As I mentioned earlier, we have engineers now that will probably never pick up a screwdriver apart from taking something out of a 19-inch rack. So it's about sitting there, and they'll spend 4 or 5 hours putting together a server and a PoE switch for an IP system. So it changes the whole dynamic of the kind of skill set you need.
Now, coming to the show, you've been a visitor at the show for a number of years. Why is a show like IFSEC so important to people like you who are based in the industry?
I've been coming to this show probably since I was an engineer. I've been in the industry for just over 25 years. I remember getting excited about seeing DVST come out all those years ago and watching on the stand at IFSEC how we could open up a gate in Australia. Now people FaceTime around the world as if it's just normal. So the industry is changing, the world's changing, and this is where you come to see how much that you need to step forward and push those things.
Terrific. Anthony, one more time, just tell us when your talk tomorrow is?
I'm speaking at 12 o'clock tomorrow.
Terrific. So you want to hear more about the future of the industry and particularly about training up staff, then make sure that you head over to see Anthony King from King Security's talk on apprenticeships tomorrow at midday.